What's up, family? My name is Jimmy Scott, and today I'm going to give you my 2 cents on that Memphis police incident that happened the other day. So if you haven't heard by now, there was an incident that happened with a man named Tyre Nichols. I think this happened last week, where there were 5 officers that beat him to death. And Tyre was an African-American male, and the 5 officers that were a part of the beating were also African-American. There are a lot of people talking about this incident. It's very hurtful just knowing that these things are still happening. And it's not a race thing either. Black people beating on black people beating on white people beating on black people, white people beating on white people. Police in general treating people unjustly and unfairly, whether you are black or white or Asian or whoever you are. It's still going. What's funny is people like to look at it that way as a race issue, but it's everywhere. And it's with all races. The thing is, we just don't hear about it a lot until the media wants to push it out that way. And that's what's funny about it. But here's my 2 cents on the whole issue. I've heard that a lot of people have talked about how quickly those officers were convicted of murder. I think it happened like the very next day after the video. And then how those officers didn't get relieved with pay and didn't get suspended and all that. They were completely convicted of murder right after the incident, and how quickly it happened versus George Floyd's murderer, or the police officer that murdered George Floyd, and how quickly that happened and how quickly he was convicted. My thing is this: justice is justice. I mean, yes, there is something to be said about different states and different people and how they operate and how quickly people are convicted of a crime and a wrongdoing. But the pain is still there, regardless of who it is. My heart would hurt even if it was a white man that beat another white man to death. We live in an evil world, man. We live in a very evil world. And you got to be careful in this world, because there are people out there that know nothing else but evilness. They know nothing but evil. They know nothing but wrong. Wrong seems to look like right to them. And these are the people that you really got to be careful and watch out for, because they have no morality. They have no soul. They have no heart when it comes to killing a man, or when it comes to doing and harming another person, whether it be in a fight or whatever the case is. They don't have a soul. They don't have moral. They don't know when to stop. People take it very far nowadays. You have to be very careful of that, man. It's just sad to know that a man got beat to death. Like, that's sad, man. To death. I understand fights. You know, as a child, you get into fights sometimes in your neighborhood or at school. Even some adults get into fights when they get drunk and all these other things. But to beat somebody to death, that's pretty hard, man. To beat someone to death. I would see if the crime is very heinous. If a man ever puts his hands on your wife or your children, okay, I can understand you lost it in your soul and you went there. But I don't know what crime Tyre Nichols committed. I don't even know anything about the case. All I know is the video that I watched. I watched the man get beat, and I watched 5 officers do it, regardless of what the intent was or the issue was. One thing I started slowly learning is, regardless of what your intent is or what your purpose is of doing what you do, it still doesn't take away the fact of how someone feels. And it still doesn't take away the fact of the truth. Truth is, that man dead. And the truth is, they were beating him. They were hitting him across the head and everything. That's the truth. These are the people you got to pray for. These are the people that you got to watch out for, because a lot of this stuff will make you angry. A lot of this stuff will make you start looking at media and start questioning our society, when in reality, a lot of the stuff has probably been going on all across the United States and in the world. We just don't know about it until social media. If you let social media dictate what you believe and how you feel, then you will always be subjected to being swayed from the left and the right of truth and information. Because there are media outlets out there that want to promote fear. And all they want to do is promote that fear to make you afraid, to make you do things out of character, land you yourself in jail, increase money revenue about different things. If you're an African American, it make you want to tear your own neighborhood up. I've seen that happen during that whole George Floyd thing a couple of years ago. People tearing up their own neighborhood, their businesses, and looting, and all these different things. It's crazy, man. So today I am smoking a Perdomo Habano. This is a new cigar, man, that I was recommended from one of the guys at the cigar shop. I just walked into a new cigar shop and asked him what would he recommend, and he told me a Maduro cigar. I think I said in the previous video that Maduro was the size. I was wrong. I want to admit that here. Maduro is not the size. Maduro is the color. You have different colors of cigars. You got Connecticut, and you got Maduro. Maduro is the color. Sizes are very different terms. This is a Maduro because of the color, chocolate or brown. Chocolate to me though. So, smoking on this, very good cigar so far. I'm rocking the Mississippi State from Mississippi. If you didn't know, I attended Mississippi State, and I went to school during the time that Dak Prescott was playing for us and led us to be #1 in the nation. For the first time in school history. And it was great. Hey, this is really good. Not a whole lot of spiciness, which is good. Very kind of mild. I like mild. More like a wedding cigar, as they call it. So this is really good. I like it. Back to the incident in Memphis with those guys in Memphis and the guy that got killed. My 2 cents is we need to do a better job of knowing our rights, standing up for our rights, and helping people when we see injustice, when we see things being done wrong. A lot of times we're quick to pull out our cameras and record things, but we're not quick to take action to report what we see, to step in. I'm not saying you got to step in and be the hero and start fighting the police. What I'm saying is if you see the police doing something that's wrong, then you should be calling and reporting it yourself. Maybe that was done. I don't know. Again, I don't know the whole story. This is just my 2 cents. I just know I'm tired of hurting. I'm tired of seeing it. And usually when you see it, then these media outlets are going to report it, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to drag it. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying it hurts. Seeing a brother of mine, get beat down. I mean, these were some heavy blows too, man. He's not the only one that got beat down. This one, he was just beat down by a policeman. I remember seeing this girl get beat basically to death I forgot how long ago this was, but I think she was like on a trip or something like that. And she got beat up by some other girls, and I think she had some head trauma and she died from it. It's sad, man. For those of us who are here, and those of us who are still going, then these are all things that we should learn from. These are all things that can teach us how to love one another more and how to help each other. These are lessons that can teach us about justice. If you've noticed over these last couple of years, probably longer, but over as of recent, since 2020, right? We're only 3 years post 2020. Justice has been a topic. Justice. What is justice? What does it look like? Does justice look like revenge? Does justice look like what's in our heart? If you are someone who has revenge in your heart and you seek vengeance on the police officers to be killed or whatever the case is, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, then does that fix the problem? Kill and you shall be killed. Does that fix the problem? As the Bible tells us that, it tells us that vengeance is the Lord's. Vengeance belongs to God. We shouldn't be doing eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, but we should be loving our enemies. Jesus preached the complete opposite, man. Jesus got killed and he was innocent, didn't do a thing. People started following him, listening to him and believing in him, and they didn't like that. A lot of the apostles got killed for professing Christ. They didn't want to hear that. How do you love somebody that want to stone you? How do you love someone that wants to harm you? That's basically what Jesus was preaching. Loving your enemy. Who is your enemy? The person that is against you. The mentality that's against you. Satan. A lot of times your enemy are not people. It's not the people, but it's what resides within the people. It's the mentality, it's the soul, it's the corruption, it's the evilness from the evil one that has tainted their soul. That is your enemy. Satan is your enemy, and Satan operates within people. You don't believe Satan operates within people, make people do evil things? How is it that people do things that are so heinous and they don't know why they did it? I mean, there are many stories of people who did mass murderings. And in these mass murderings, they had a clean record of, who they used to be and the things that they used to do. Oh, this person never did anything. This person always was at home. There were never any issues with this person at work. And all of a sudden, there's a mass murdering where they go on a rampage and just want to murder people. How do you go from regular Joe Schmo, nothing interesting in your life, never had a parking ticket, to mass murderer, I just want to murder people, and not understand why you did it? There are people like that. There are murders that happen like that. You don't think that Satan operates within people. I'm telling you, man. So my 2 cents, we need to love one another. We need to really seek and understand what justice is and what it means to each one of us individually. We need to seek it. We need to seek justice for everybody, not just black folk, not just white folk, but everybody. Because again, my heart hurt if the man was white or Asian or Latino, whatever his nationality is. I don't care who he would be. If I saw that video and I saw anybody getting beat to death by law enforcement that's supposed to protect the law and protect us as people, then I would still be disturbed. That's my 2 cents on the whole thing. Leave me a comment down in the comment section and let me know your 2 cents on the matter. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you can get more videos like these and come kick it with me. I appreciate you for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.